transit in Boston. Park Street. As locals say here, Park Street. The first time I came here, I asked for a subway map, and they said, you can find one at Park Street. I didn't know what the heck he was talking about until I saw. Had to take into account the Boston accent. This is the Green Line. It's Boston's equivalent of Philadelphia's subway surface trolley routes. Very frequent downtown here. You have the B, C, D, and E Green Line train lines. They go up to Union Square and there's a trolley from Medford Tufts. They're running them like streetcars. Well, that's because they are streetcars. Once they get out of the tunnel, they are, pretty much. It's going to Government Center. Another Governor Center bound train right behind them. Well, here comes one of the newer trams. Look sharp. Far cry from the PCCs that I saw here years ago. Sound like R179s on the New York subway. We're at JFK UMass on the Red Line and commuter rail. Here comes 1919 bound for Fall River at 1:32. Service. And what a great locomotive is pulling this train too. Line shares with the commuter rail. The Red Line runs from Braintree to Alewife, and there's shuttle service from here to Ashmont. Alewife, that's where married women drink beer. Here come the new CRRC Red Line cars. Construction, they have shuttle trains from here to Ashmont. Or your old Colony Line trains stop here. Boston to Greenbush, Boston to Kingston, Boston to Fall River, and New Bedford. 139 arriving as train 1026 from Greenbush to South Station. Maligned HSP 46s. They look goofy. Never liked the looks of them, but they are powerful and they make a great sound when they start up. And they do have pretty awesome K5 LA horns. I would give them a nod over the Silverliner 4s of Scepter. Those engines look goofy, but they sound like they'd be allergic to kryptonite.
Train servicing all stops to Ashmont Port on track A2. 4 Alewife trains on the Braintree platform.
Those announcements sound about as incoherent as the BART announcements. No soul. Well, here we have a Braintree bound train. They're running normally. It's the Ashmont trains that are messed up. This is the first real good look I've gotten of these Red Line cars built by CRRC. They've completely proliferated on the Orange Line, but they're just starting to show themselves on the Red Line. Well, here comes 1069 to Greenbush at 149. real-life train to the new equipment. Yeah, 158. Here comes 1078 from Greenbush to South Station. We move further down the red line to the North Quincy station. Get a nice unobstructed view of the old colony lines here. Braintree bound. Just a deadhead, but you heard that AA2 horn. That was 1021 bound for Kingston from South Station. Approaching North Quincy is MBTA commuter rail train 2028 from New Bedford to South Station.
All you can do is defend on the perimeter.
Is 2021 Boston to New Bedford. further down the line at the next stop, Wollaston. Good visibility here for Red Line trains as well as the commuter rail. Here goes a train for Airwife. The sun is coming out pretty good as we have a Braintree train arriving Wollaston. Here comes train 1028 from Kingston to South Station.
The following Braintree train arrives.
Yeah, they're redoing South Station. It's really starting to look like something. Love this atrium out here. It's about 10 minutes after 4. Going to spend a couple hours at this Boston area hotspot, Forest Hills. It's a joint Orange Line commuter rail station, and you got Amtrak going by here as well. Get a lot of action here and horn shows, hopefully. At 4:14, here comes train 955 from Boston to Stoughton. Here's 754 from Forge Park I-495 to South Station. Approaching at 4:21 is 1757, Boston to Foxborough. And he's got an F40 on him. Four 25, 2173, Acela, Boston to Washington. Bound Orange Line train. All CRRC cars on that. Well, here's 857, Boston to Providence. Sounds like 954 from Stoughton to Boston. Four 37 is 654 from Needham Heights to South Station. Shoved by HSP 46, 2039. The last unit of that 40-unit order. 443, here's train 759 from Boston to Forge Park. That stop here are usually Needham Heights trains, but there are exceptions, and this is one of them. .457, here comes 856 from Providence to Boston. Snuck up on me at 5:01. That was 86 en route from Richmond Main Street to Boston. I saw some Heritage 7 cars on there. 5:09, here's 861. Boston to Wickford Junction with 661 for Needham Heights right behind them. Approaching a 661 for Needham Heights at 5:10. Approaching at 5:14 is 963. Boston to Stoughton. Yeah, when you see LED lights, it's a purple delight. It's a warm afternoon here, but getting a little breezy. It's going to be a lot colder tomorrow, only around 50. Approaching at 5:21 is 763. Boston to Forge Park. .28, here comes 960 from Stoughton to Boston. It's about 5:38 here at Forest Hills, and it looks like a change in the weather is coming. Shouldn't rain, but it's gonna be colder tomorrow. Today was gorgeous in the mid-60s. 5:41 is Amtrak 177, Boston to Washington. windy and it's gonna rain pretty hard shortly. We'll take a ride on this to Ruggles. And we detrained at Ruggles. The 660 from Needham Heights to Boston departs. Should have an F40 in the back. And here we are at the combined Orange Line and commuter rail stop at Ruggles. This station serves Northeastern University. 557 is train 767 en route to Forge Park, I-495. It was raining so hard I didn't even want to stand next to that F40 when it pulls out. Shows you how uncomfortable that experience was. Well, here's 969 to Stoughton at 6 o'clock. Well, I'm definitely not going to stand out in the rain to watch that thing take off. Man, the weather sure deteriorated in the last hour. 6:04, here comes 667 bound for Needham Heights as the rain continues. A lot of barking there. All right, 613 picking up speed after leaving Back Bay is Amtrak 2193, Boston, New York. Acela, I'll be taking this train home tomorrow. Time is now 6:32. I'm going to board this train and ride it to Route 128, where my hotel is. Train 871 bound to Providence with some good stuff pulling. We detrained at Route 128 off 871 with this beautiful locomotive. Can't enjoy them on Caltrain anymore, but you sure can soak them up here. Well, it's 8:35 p.m. I'm at Route 128 station. Just finished dinner. Thought I'd do a little rail fanning for the next hour and hang out and wait for the Mo Money conductor on 2170, Washington to Boston. Well, running about 8 minutes late is train 2168 at 8:38 p.m. The cell en route from Washington to Boston. 'Next stop, Back Bay, Boston.' Well, there's my hotel, the Courtyard Marriott. It's a good hotel. You can see how close it is to the station here at Route 128. Unfortunately, I have to take a long roundabout way to get to the place. It'd be nice if they had a stairway from this platform to that parking lot over there. It would save me a lot of walking, but it is what it is. Coming in at 8:57 is MBTA train 881, Boston to Providence. And I can tell by the headlight what kind of locomotive it is. The second locomotive of the 40-unit order. do sound pretty awesome when they start up, I'll say that much. And at 9 o'clock, approaching is train 881 en route from Wickford Junction, Rhode Island to Boston. Man, those things sound like B-52s taking off. At 9:22, arriving is Amtrak 184 en route from Washington to Boston. He's in good shape. Departing at 9:23 is MBTA 983 en route to Stoughton with an F40. .29, we have something coming in inbound. Nothing scheduled. Well, at 9:37 p.m., arriving is train 2170 from Washington to Boston. It's going to be about 5 minutes late, but with padding in the schedule, he should be able to get to South Station on time. He's doing it 9:52. Oh, don't take that Red Sox hat off. Keep it on. All right, guys. You should be on time into Boston. And he's out at 9:40. Should get in a back bay around 9:48, 9:49. Might be just a teensy bit late into South Station, but still within the definition of on time. All right, continuing our Boston area rail fanning. It's Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. A sunny, crisp, chilly morning. We're back out of Route 128. It is 7:40 in the morning and train 914 is arriving from Stoughton to take a load of commuters into Boston. Thunder! And the station's namesake road crosses overhead, Route 128. It's a beltway around the city of Boston. Well, arriving at 7:50 is train 819, a route from Boston to Providence. All right, folks. You hear me bashing those HSP 46s and SEPTA Silverliner 4s, but I'll take these HSPs in a heartbeat over the 4s. The raw power, you just heard it. And that K5LA horn, you just heard that. What Silverliner 4 to me has nothing. I highly recommend that hotel. Very convenient, comfortable, and a nice breakfast. And for a Marriott, the price was reasonable. Okay, approaching at 8:04 is train 818 from Providence to Boston, picking up another load of commuters. And he's got a long consist. Never seen an 8-car commuter train on MBTA before. Solid double deckers. Shows you that the HSP 46 number 2001 has enough muscle to handle it. Just to show you how much this station has changed from New Haven days. This whole station complex and its big waiting area and parking lot were built back in the early 2000s when they started to sell express service and electrified up here. Years ago, this station used to be just 2 low-level platforms, had a little brick station just west of an overpass. You can see the foundation there of an old highway overpass that's long since been taken down. And the old brick station used to be right in the area in front of the now Courtyard Marriott Hotel. Gate 18, here comes train 923 bound for Stoughton with some good stuff. From Wickford Junction. His last stop was Sharon. They seem to be using the F-40s on the Stoughtons pretty heavily. You'll notice he didn't use much air coming into the station. You heard those dynamic brakes wailing.